What if the Sony FX3 Mark II everyone has been waiting for is already here, but under a different name? For years, filmmakers and creators have asked Sony for one thing: keep the compact FX3 formula and low light strength, but add next-generation cinema tools. Throughout early 2026, rumors pointed toward an FX3 successor, but the picture has changed, and if you are planning to buy an FX3 or waiting for a Mark II, this update matters. Welcome back to Tap Tech, where we cut through the hype and focus on what matters. And today, there is a major twist. As of August 2026, Sony has not officially announced a camera named the FX3 Mark II. Instead, Sony introduced the FX5 in July 2026, and that camera delivers many of the upgrades people expected from an FX3 successor. Sony positions the FX5 as another step in its cinema line, while the FX3 remains separate. So this is not simply a renamed FX3 Mark II, but it shows where Sony's compact cinema strategy is heading. Start with the sensor, because this is where the biggest change happens. The FX3 uses a roughly 12-megapixel full-frame back-illuminated sensor built around strong 4K video, high sensitivity, and fast readout. It shoots 4K up to 120 frames per second, records 10-bit 4.282 internally, and can output 16-bit RAW over HDMI. That combination helped make the FX3 a production favorite, small enough for gimbals and solo operators, yet serious enough for professional cinema workflows. The new FX5 pushes that philosophy further. Sony says it uses a full-frame stacked Exmor RS CMOS sensor and a BioNZ XR2 processor with integrated AI processing. More importantly, it introduces full-frame open-gate recording to Sony's Cinema Line FX series. That lets filmmakers use the taller 3.2 sensor area instead of being limited to a standard widescreen crop. For creators delivering the same footage in cinematic widescreen, YouTube 16.9, vertical 916, and other social formats, OpenGate can provide more flexibility in post at launch. The FX5 records up to 5K at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second. Sony has also announced a future firmware update planned for August 2027 or later that is expected to add 5K 120p and 4K 240p. That future feature is not available today, and that distinction matters. Buyers should judge the camera by what it can do when they purchase it, not only by promised firmware. Then there is RAW. The FX3 can send 16-bit RAW externally through HDMI, which is powerful but needs extra hardware and a more complicated rig. The FX5 can record Sony's 16-bit scene linear X-OCN compressed RAW internally. That is a major workflow upgrade for filmmakers who want RAW flexibility without turning a compact body into a cable-covered setup. It also moves this small camera closer to Sony's higher-end cinema ecosystem. Low-light performance is another reason people love the FX3, and Sony clearly understands that. The FX5 introduces 3 base ISO settings: 800, 4000, and 2800. Sony also claims more than 15 stops of latitude in S-Log3 under its test conditions. There is also dual gain shooting designed to maximize latitude while controlling shadow noise. Those are upgrades that can matter more in real production than simply adding megapixels. Autofocus takes a significant step forward. The FX5 uses AI-assisted subject recognition through BioNZ XR2 and supports recognition for humans, animals, and birds. Sony lists up to 759 phase detection autofocus points depending on shooting mode. For documentary shooters, event filmmakers, and solo creators, that could mean fewer shots lost to focus errors. Stabilization has evolved too. The FX3 already includes 5-axis in-body stabilization, while the FX5 adds dynamic active mode for stronger electronic correction, although it brings in additional crop and operating limitations. That is worth remembering because aggressive digital stabilization costs field of view. Professionals will still choose between stabilization, a gimbal, and controlled handheld movement depending on the shot. Sony also moves deeper into professional monitoring. The FX5 includes waveform monitoring, false color, histogram display, and focus map. Those may not create flashy headlines, but on a real set they can save time and protect exposure. Built-in anamorphic D-squeeze is another welcome addition, with multiple squeeze ratios available, making anamorphic shooting easier without depending on an external monitor. Audio gets a serious upgrade. With the compatible XLR handle, the FX5 supports up to 96 kHz 32-bit float audio. For interviews and live environments where levels can change unpredictably, 32-bit float provides more headroom and reduces clipping risk. It does not replace good microphone placement, but it can make a small crew more resilient. There are practical improvements for long shooting days too. The FX5 uses dual slots that accept CFexpress Type A or SD cards, supports a higher capacity battery, and includes active cooling. Sony says the cooling design is built for extended recording, while the body keeps the compact flat-top cinema shape. It also offers multiple mounting points, front and rear tally indicators, and a movie-focused control layout. So where does that leave the actual Sony FX3 Mark II? Right now, there is no officially confirmed FX3 Mark II specification sheet, release date, or price from Sony. Earlier 2026 rumors disagreed, with reports suggesting everything from a 33-megapixel partially stacked sensor to a 16-megapixel video-focused sensor. Because those claims conflicted and Sony ultimately announced the FX5, treating old FX3 Mark II leaks as confirmed would be misleading, and this is the key buying question. If you already own an FX3 and your work depends on reliable 4K, strong low-light performance, compact size, 10-bit internal recording, and Sony Autofocus, your camera did not suddenly become obsolete. The FX3 remains highly capable. But if your workflow would benefit from Open Gate, internal X-OCN RAW, stronger monitoring tools, AI subject recognition, triple base ISO, and higher resolution capture, the FX5 is the camera you should compare against the FX3, not an imaginary specification sheet for an unannounced Mark II. Could Sony still release an FX3 Mark II later? Possibly. But there is no official announcement confirming one today. Until Sony announces such a camera, the accurate answer is simple. The long-rumored FX3 Mark II is not an official product, and the FX5 currently represents the clearest evolution of Sony's compact cinema line concept for filmmakers right now. If Sony eventually does make an FX3 Mark II, it may need to sit below the FX5 rather than replace it. Sony could keep the familiar FX3 body, preserve a lower price point, upgrade autofocus and processing, improve stabilization and heat management, and reserve features like internal X-OCN RAW for the FX5. That is only a prediction, but it would make more sense than releasing two cameras with nearly identical capabilities. So before you sell your FX3, cancel a purchase or wait months for a camera that has not been announced. Look at what you actually shoot. If 4K delivery is still your world, the FX3 remains relevant. If you are moving into higher-end commercial work, multi-format delivery, anamorphic production, internal RAW, or more demanding cinema workflows, the FX5 is the real story in 2026. And if Sony surprises us with a true FX3 Mark II, TapTech will be watching the official announcement, not just rumor headlines. Subscribe if you want the next update without fake specs, exaggerated leaks, or recycled hype. Until then, keep your camera rolling, keep your expectations realistic, and remember, the best upgrade is the one that changes what you can create, not just the model name printed on the front.